For years, you probably tried what most marriage advice tells you to do. Talk to your husband about what's bothering you. Be honest. Share how you feel. Bring things up sooner. Don't let them fester. And on the surface, that sounds healthy. But if you're being honest, it hasn't created the closeness and intimacy with him that you were hoping for. In fact, in some ways, it's made things worse. He gets defensive, more emotionally distant, less open to listening to you, and his tenderness, it's like it's completely vanished. And somewhere deep in your heart, you've wondered, why does sharing how I feel with him make him pull away from me? And I want to say something really important to you. This is not your fault. You are an amazing woman. You're a woman who cares deeply, who loves deeply, a woman who longs for connection, for tenderness, for real intimacy. You yearn to be truly seen, truly understood, and deeply cherished. And this feminine yearning is just so much at the heart of your feminine beauty. But most of what you've been taught to do with this deep desire has been quietly working against you. Because what no one explains is that there's a real physics to relationships, like a natural law. And it's a relational dynamic between you and your husband that completely governs whether he moves away from you or whether he moves toward you. And I call this relational magnetism. Okay. Magnetism is the key here. Okay. So for a moment, just think about a magnet. Okay. It's either attracting or it's repelling because magnets have a powerful charge, right? It's a real invisible force that's always just on. And when you're tuned in to your own feminine magnetism, when you share your heart from this place, your husband immediately hears you from the first time, and he's already thinking about several different ways that he can delight you. And you will see him go out of his way to make you smile. That's the power of your feminine magnetism. And then warmth in the relationship, it just feels easy. It feels natural. Emotional intimacy with him returns without any force or frustration at all. But when that magnetism is disrupted, right? When the magnet flips around the other way, right? Now that force powerfully pushes away rather than attracts. Okay. Notice the difference here. If you are talking to your husband about the issues that you see, what he needs to do better, you'll notice, does he get flustered? Does he get defensive, angry, refuse to talk to you? Shut you out, maybe sometimes even for days. I want you to see what's really happening underneath here. Okay, it's not that he doesn't care about you or doesn't love you, but that the magnet has flipped, okay, and the charge is now pushing him away. Okay, your husband cares about you deeply, but something in the dynamic itself has radically shifted from being, a very easy magnetizing attraction to just frustrating constant friction that feels really scary and awful. And most methods try to fix these symptoms by focusing on his behavior. For example, you speak to a couples counselor and talk about the problems that you're having. Okay, you try to get him to see what he's doing wrong. You try to get him to focus and heal his childhood wounds. Okay, you're trying to get him to understand the changes that he needs to make. Okay, and maybe you're told, like, okay, use I statements like, I feel hurt and disappointed when you. Okay, focus on his behavior. Or you're told, be completely honest and share how you feel, right? Help him to see that what he's doing is wrong. Okay, and if you have been through this process, You know how emotionally exhausting and ineffective this really feels and is. Okay, because here's what no one tells you. None of that magnetizes your man. Let me say that again. None of that magnetizes your man. None of it awakens his deep masculine desire to listen to you, to love you tenderly. You see, when a man feels corrected, evaluated, analyzed, he begins to withdraw. And if he senses that he's being seen as inadequate or not enough, even if that feels true to you in the moment, like right now you're inadequate, it's not enough. This pushes him further and further away. And most women don't realize that this dynamic is what is creating the distance. Now, you probably notice he becomes defensive, he shuts down, he gets angry, right? And you feel really frustrated because you are being really, really clear about what you need from him. But what you've been taught, I mean, what we've all been taught, is actually unintentionally pushing him away instead of drawing him toward you. Okay, now your femininity is what arouses and attracts his masculinity, his masculine response to you. But when you make the focus of the conversation about his behavior, you've flipped the magnet. You flipped the magnet. Okay. And now that force is strongly pushing him away in the other direction rather than easily attracting him to you. Okay. And that's why this whole experience you've had so far is so emotionally exhausting and frustrating. And it's like no matter what you do, nothing really changes in your relationship, right? Nothing really has changed so far for you in your relationship. Okay, your husband still doesn't seem to listen. He still doesn't seem to get it. And you start to feel even more hopeless about your relationship because it's like you've been trying so hard. But I want you to take a hard look at something. Okay, this is the key. Every method you've been taught, every approach you've tried so far is 100% focused on getting him to change, to get him to improve so that your marriage can improve. I mean, it almost sort of feels logical, right? But making his behaviors the focus flips the magnet. It pushes him away. Okay, why? Because he sees in your eyes that you see him as inadequate. Let me say that one more time. He sees in your eyes that you see him as inadequate. And this does nothing to inspire his heroic love for you. In fact, it does the opposite. Okay. It makes him just want to shut down, right? And all of a sudden, he's pulling away from you. This is why there is growing emotional distance in your relationship. Okay. I need you to see that. This is why there is that growing distance. Okay. Now, let me take this one level deeper. You are trying to get him to see his part. Okay. It's like, again, it seems so reasonable, so honest, so logical. Okay. So that the relationship can improve. Okay. But underneath, he's hearing a message that says, you are not good enough for me the way that you are. And I no longer see you as a good man until you change. Okay, this withdraws your acceptance, which is a fundamental emotional need for a man. Okay, and in fact, this is the premise behind all marriage counseling, right? This is why you go into it. Okay, but the truth is, this message is the complete opposite of how you naturally magnetize your man, right? Where he just immediately listens to your heart, he responds to you with love, he naturally seeks you out and cares for you. Like, ask yourself, isn't this what you've been wanting all along, where he just naturally seeks you out? You don't have to tell him. Now, I want you to take all of this in for a moment and to think about your own experience in your relationship. Okay, there's no judgment here. Okay, we're just coming to a deeper awareness. As you've tried to fix your marriage, what is the message that you keep telling your husband? Okay, just ask yourself this question. What is the message that you keep telling your husband? Think about the fights you've had at home. Think about all the complaints and the grievances about him that maybe you've told to him, or maybe you've told to your best friend, or you've told to a couples counselor or your therapist. Think about your insistence that he needs to heal from childhood wounds. Now, maybe you're thinking, okay, I see there's a kind of relationship physics, there's a natural law where a woman is able to draw her man's masculine response. But listen, people are broken too, right? They have real wounds, and that's how my husband is. He has this real wound he doesn't want to address. Okay, I hear you. But did you see it? Did you see it? Your insistence, your message that he is a wounded, broken little man is again the very same message that is actively hurting him and hurting the relationship. Okay, again, this is not about judgment. This is just about awareness. Okay, why? Because I want you to experience a very different result than the just ongoing frustration that you have had so far. Okay, he keeps hearing that he is not enough. And this is why he keeps getting flustered and angry when you keep insisting he has something to heal, he has something to change, he has something to fix. Okay, do you see it now? Because once you see it, you can't really like unsee it. What's happening is it's flipping the magnet and powerfully pushing him away. Okay. And this is why all the methods you have heard of or tried so far have completely failed to inspire any real change on your husband's part. Okay. And instead, he's putting up a wall. He's putting up a wall. Okay. Now, what all of these methods have in common is they reinforce the problem with him is. Okay. Or if you say it to him directly, the problem with you is the problem that he has. Okay. This is the opposite of how a woman's feminine magnetism easily, okay, emphasis on easy, emphasis on effortless, even, how it easily inspires and attracts his heroic masculine response, the one that your husband also has and wants to show to you. And this is why nothing has worked for you so far, despite your very caring efforts. Okay, so I want you to see exactly why you keep having the same hurtful experience again and again, even though you have been actively trying to repair your relationship. This is why your husband just still doesn't seem to listen. He doesn't seem to get it. He doesn't take action in a way that would just absolutely delight your heart as a woman. Even though you feel like you have told him what you want and what you want him to do like 100 times. Okay, do you see it? Do you see it? Okay, now I'm going to show you how you do inspire his amazing love for you because once you do this, everything starts changing in your marriage and changing very fast. Okay, your husband will respond to you with the most profound tenderness, the most loving attention and affection when you take the focus off of him and off of changing him. Okay, I know that's so hard. Okay, I worked with hundreds of women. I know it's hard, but you are here for a radically different result. Okay, so we're going to take the focus off of him, off of the need to change him, and to relearn how to express your feminine magnetism. Okay, and I'm going to show you now what exactly this looks like. Okay, this is the part that I'm actually really excited to share with you today because you are not the woman who needs to chase after your husband. You don't need to tell him what he's doing wrong. You're not trying to force his love and support for you. Like, you don't want to do that, right? He doesn't want you to do that. You are the woman he chases after, the woman he cherishes. because you inspire his love. And when you inspire, he cannot wait to pursue you, to adore you, to take care of you. He is excited to come through for you. And when he does, you get what you most wanted. You receive his love for you. You receive his love. Now, did you see that three-step pattern? Let me tell you again. You inspire, he freely pursues you, and you receive him. You receive his love. This is what I call the rhythm of romantic love. Okay, and notice this the sex specific difference here. Okay, the complementarity, your feminine magnetism, arousing and attracting his masculine response. You inspire, he pursues you, and you receive him. Okay, this is a genuine sexual complementarity. Okay, why? Because you're not just generic partners or mates. Your femininity is exactly what arouses and attracts his masculinity, his loving masculine response for you, because you are the beauty who captivates his heart. That's who you are. You are the beauty who captivates his heart. And that woman in you, she's still there. She's still there, right? She's not lost. She's not broken. She is worthy. She is ready to receive her husband's amazing love for her. Okay, so you get to decide. Do you want this delightful rhythm of romantic love again and again in your marriage? I mean, where you share your heart, he's already thinking of how he's going to delight you, and then, you receive his love. And it just keeps happening over and over in every single area of your relationship. Do you want that? Because when you step into your feminine magnetism, into your power as a woman who knows how to magnetize her man, everything shifts in your marriage. Okay. And this is why I created the magnetism method, because men do not respond to attempts to correct them and improve them. That's not what arouses them. But they do immediately respond to something far more powerful, the emotional signals that a woman carries and her ability to inspire him. Okay, your femininity is what awakens his desire, right? That's what you want. You want his desire for you to be awake, right? To move toward you, to understand you, to feel like you are taken care of, right? He's taking care of you and to delight you in the ways that you most yearn to be loved. Okay, and it's not because he was told to, by somebody else or he's forced to, okay, which is why all the other methods fail, right? Are you seeing this now? But because rather something in him was awakened. And when that happens, you don't have to chase him. You don't have to insist that he improve. You don't have to convince him to show up for you because you are the magnet he can't stay away from. Okay, it's just the attraction is just already there. He's completely drawn to you right now, and you are attracting to you his tender love with ease. Okay, do you see it now? Do you see why this is the only way that actually works? Okay, the magnetism method, it's not about becoming somebody else or forcing him to change or just learning some generic communication tips. Okay, it's not about like let's maybe just put on a pretty dress or something, right? No, it's about returning home to the woman that you already are. You are the incredible beauty who captivates his heart, right? It's about sharing your heart in a way that reawakens the natural attraction and love between you and your husband. I mean, don't you want your relationship to feel natural, to feel easy, right? No more feeling like you have to coerce him into meeting your needs or like hire a third party to just like talk some sense into him so that he can finally change and show up. You don't want that. You want everything to be natural and easy. Okay. And this is not about controlling him or manipulating him. In fact, it's the complete opposite of that. This is about you showing up in the way that naturally attracts his attention, his affection, his tender love for you. So that when you share her heart, you share your heart, he immediately gets it and he's thinking of ways, how can I show her my love? How can I show her, this beautiful woman, how much I love her? That's what he's thinking. And when you do this, here's what happens. Okay? So once again, imagine for a moment when you share your heart, he hears you from the first time. Okay? You don't have to keep saying it over and over. You don't have to force him. He hears you from the first time. He listens, he gets it. He leans in instead of getting defensive and pulling away. He softens toward you instead of shutting down. He reaches for you again. He holds you in his arms. He caresses you with his warmth, with his attention, with his tenderness. Not because he has to, not because somebody told him to, but because he wants to, right? And isn't that what you've also wanted too? You get to feel him delight you with his love, okay? Because your feminine magnetism arouses and attracts him into your heart and into your world with ease. And this is exactly what I guide women through inside of Adored for Life. This is a high level, deeply supported transformation container where we apply the magnetism method, this unique methodology, directly to your marriage dynamic. Okay, this is not some surface level coaching. This is not generalized tips or advice. This is a mastery level mentoring experience to guide you back into your feminine magnetism that immediately draws your husband back into your world and into your heart. Okay, no more force, no more frustration, just the natural attraction that's magnetic. Okay, and if something in your heart is recognizing the truth of this, right? If something in you feels seen, then I want to invite you into something deeper because this is not just a program, it's a return. It's a return to the incredible, amazing woman that you already are. That you already are. Okay, the woman who is captivating, the woman who is inspiring, the woman who is deeply worthy of being cherished and adored in her marriage. Not someday, not, well, maybe if I can get him to change, if he finally changes, but as the woman who is not only deeply seen by her husband, but summons the absolute best in him every time. And the key takeaway from today's training here is you don't need to keep trying to persuade him to change. That backfires. You need to magnetize your man. And when you do, you'll see that the change that you wanted to see in him all this time, it just happens naturally. Because finally, the love isn't forced, it's free. And he freely pursues you, he cares for you because he loves to. He just loves to do it, okay? Because he loves you. Because you are now and always the bride of his heart. This is the work that I do. This is the work that I do. So if you are ready to take the next step, I invite you to click the button below to get started. You know that your marriage is something sacred and precious to your heart. And I want you to know today that you can be cherished and adored for life. So join us.